Senior on VH1, last coming standing, Kristin Key, everybody! Keep it going for her!
Hi, everybody. Hi, my name's Kristin Key, but you guys will probably just remember me as that girl. It kind of looks like what would happen if Ellen had a baby with the mean lady from Glee. Not that funny. Now, I get that a lot. And, you know, if you think someone looks like a celebrity, you don't always have to tell them if it's an ugly celebrity. I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago. This guy was like, no, you know who you look like? Young Hillary Clinton. That's not a compliment. I don't care what age you put in front of it. Hillary Clinton's kind of an insult. You say you look like Hillary Clinton, all I hear is, you look like an old lesbian. Well, she does. So, I live in LA. I haven't always, though. I am originally from Amarillo, Texas. What? Yep, it's a town. We're only known for a couple things. Our biggest claim to fame in Amarillo is we are known for a giant steak. We're home of the 72-ounce steak of the Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas. Jealous. So, basically, large people from all over the country flock to Amarillo to try to eat our 6-pound steak in under an hour, because if you can cram all 72 ounces of that steak in your mouth within an hour, you get to keep it. So when people find out I'm from Amarillo, they're like, whoa, did you ever try to eat that really big steak? No, because I don't know what that would do to my colon. Which is something you want to think about before you put 72 ounces of anything in your mouth. You need to have an exit strategy. I mean, otherwise you could have a wounded warrior back there. And that is no bueno, my friends. So I moved from Amarillo, Texas to Los Angeles a few years ago, and it was kind of a rough move because I had a thick Texas accent when I first got out here. And the people in LA would make fun of me when I would say Texas phrases. Like, I wasn't that hickish. I wouldn't say stuff like, Paul, get in here, check out this indoor outhouse, you know. It wasn't that bad, but I would say stuff like, I'm fixing to go to the store, y'all wanna come? That's like a staple of Texas talk. Well, the LA girls especially would be like, oh my God, your accent makes you sound really stupid. I was like, really? Because you just said, oh my God, without closing your mouth. Oh my God, you did. I think that's really stupid. It's weird. I'm a 30-something girl. I live in LA. I don't have any children. And all my friends do. How many of you guys have kids? Do you have yet? Yeah? Those are really tired claps, by the way. Why did you have to bring them up? They're not here. Well, I'm kind of on the fence about it because I don't have any. I'm like, well, should I? Should I get some? Because all my friends have them. So you just said no. Yeah, that's what happens when you ask a parent if you should have kids. Parents aren't really selling me on the idea of having children. Every time I ask a parent if I should have kids, they're like, ugh, take mine. Like, really? Can you do that? Can you just give your kids away to an alcoholic? I mean, because we'll have fun for like an hour, you know. After that, I can't vouch for that kid, but I'll be somewhere. I don't know, kids are just like, it's a good idea, like on paper. I always like imagine kids like, oh, that'd be cool. And I think like I got this body, I could make one. I see stupid people have stupid kids. I'm like, well, I could make a much better kid than that. And then I'll be at like a motel pool around kids. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a bad idea. Because like 5 minutes of Marco Polo, my tubes kind of start tying themselves. He's like, oh, what is that? Is that a double knot? Polos! Ah, it's gonna be hard to untie. Kids are sticky too, a little sticky. It's weird, like I've got nephews and they'll always come up to me and they're covered in this strange combination of like food and fluids that you can't really identify. Like 1 minute they'll leave the house, they just got in the shower, clean clothes, 2 minutes they come back, they're covered in like barbecue sauce and mud and something that smells like cherry and blood. And they want to give you a really big hug, and you're not trying to be mean when you're like, back the hell up, Sticky. It's not personal. I wouldn't hug a hobo either. It is what it is. So, I got good parents. Like, that's why I kind of want to have kids. I've got good parents. My dad's a minister. Yeah, that's weird. Any other preacher's kids here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, kind of?
My dad started a church 3 years ago, so I didn't grow up like
This is a longer conversation I thought we were going to have. So your dad started a church, so does that make it more, is it a
I'm saying
cult?
like 3
Or
years ago, but I'm already starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up in that. I didn't grow up a pastor's kid.
I'm not a talk show host, but this has gone out of control. We're going to let you go as preacher's kid. Yeah, welcome to the group. Me, her, the rest of us are all in rehab somewhere. It's weird, like, what? What? Why are we doing this? What? Go sit with her. No, people always ask me what my dad thinks of my show, because I've got a very conservative Christian minister father. We were Church of Christ, so there was like no instrumental music, no dancing, no smiling. So, kind of like Footloose, but without Kevin Bacon. So, I don't know how to describe my relationship with my dad, so I put it into a song. My father's a minister. He doesn't come to my shows, but that's okay, 'cause I stopped going to his. I mentioned earlier that I'm in my 30s. I was born in 1980, so I turned, thank you, very clap happy. So I turned 10 in 1990, and I always wish that, like, I experienced the 80s, but I never got to have that, like, 80s love affair from the movies, and I always wanted that, like, wish that I could rewind back in time and fall in love in the 80s. You could Marty McFly me away in a time machine. We could pop the collars on our new jean jackets and Reebok pump up our Elizabeth shoes. You'd say, yo girl, your leg warmers are rad. I'd say, gag me with a spoon. Our eyes would meet across the roller rink as we couple skate to Purple Rain. We talk about how things are gay and retarded, 'cause like Cusack in the 80s you could say anything. We go fast like times at Ridgemont High and get hotter than St. Elmo's fire. Our love could build a rocket with a can of Pepsi and a toothpick like MacGyver. Frankie says relax, so take your high tops off, while we watch Swayze and listen to Foreigner. In the 80s you could leave your baby in the backseat of your car, but nobody puts baby in a corner. And I have the time of my life watching Family Ties, dancing Footloose. You're my Top Gun, talk to me goose. You can't handle the truth. I'll wax you on, you wax me off. Calm down, I'm only karate kidding. We'll fall in love in the 80s, when guys were guys but looked like ladies. Wish that I could rewind back in time and fall in love in the 80s. True, I do. This was for the children. I was babysitting some kids the other night, and it became bedtime, which became story time. And I don't like reading kids' stories because I don't like reading aloud, and kids' books are, you know. So the books they picked were classic fairy tales. I ended up reading Cinderella to this little guy, and I hadn't read that book since I was a little girl. So I kind of forgot. When you read that book as a kid, you're like, well, that makes total sense. That could totally happen. When you reread that book as an adult, you're like, wow, that girl's kind of messed up. Fairy tales aren't always how you remember them. Cinderella was a really good housekeeper, but kind of ungrateful to the stepmother that took her in. She was always complaining, a whiny brat if you ask me, bitching about the fact that she had to clean. I mean, come on, this nice lady put a roof up over your head, so suck it up, Cinderella, and make the bed. Suck it up, Cinderella, make the bed. Well, despite her attitude, she gets invited to a party. where she starts hitting on the hottest guy around. Well, come on, Cinderella, no wonder your stepsisters hate you. Cinderella gets around, Cinderella gets around, she's kind of the town hound. Then she gets drunk and starts acting like a stripper. She loses track of time, stumbles down the stairs, loses her glass slipper. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. See, fairy tales aren't always how you remember them. The story changes when you're grown up from when you were a kid. Let's look at the moral of the story that we learned from Cinderella. If you're a drunken little floozy who goes to parties and gets boozy, you'll attract the wrong guy who might be rich, but has a foot fetish. Cause if you think about the prince, he likes to make girls try on shoes, try on shoes. Try on shoes, try on shoes. Let's look at the moral of the story that we've learned from this song. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. Everybody sing along time, here we go. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes, sober people never do. Drunk people lose shoes, drunk people lose shoes. Sober people never do. Thank you guys, I'm Kristin.